Shalom, this is Ephraim Buchwald, and over the past couple of weeks we've been speaking a lot in the Torah readings about the nations of Moab and Ammon. You know that Balak, the king of Moab, hired Bilam to curse the Jewish people, and you know in the story of Ruth, that Ruth was a Moabite, and at the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the Moabites are given a very bad rap, that the Ammonites and the Moabites are not permitted, the men of the Ammonites and Moabites are not permitted to marry into the Jewish people. Why? Because they failed to show a sense of gratitude. After all, the existence of Ammon and Moab is due to Abraham, who intervened on behalf of Lot and his family, and Lot was the progenitor of Ammon and Moab. They owe their existence to the Jewish people. And how is it possible that when Moses petitioned the leaders of Ammon and Moab to pass through the land so they wouldn't have to go a circuitous route, they refused, and they wouldn't even give the Jews bread and water. So that lack of sense of gratitude of what others did for them. You know, today we're talking about the European Union and the terrible situation of Greece. Now, Greece has basically gone bankrupt 3 times, and the European Union has forced upon them a very, very harsh regime of terrible austerity. People don't even think that it's going to work. And the country that was really the hardest against Greece was Germany. Now, isn't it interesting that Germany itself, after World War I, was decimated, and that led to the rise of Nazism. And after World War II, were it not for the Marshall Plan and the nations of the world contributing billions of dollars to their economy, they would never have been able to revive themselves and become the modern-day economic miracle that they are today. And yet, they're being so harsh against the Greeks. Now, you know, very often, and I've seen this in some recent reports, we think of ourselves as special. Each and every one of us is special. So, for instance, if I do something wrong, it's because I was forced, I was under terrible circumstances. But when another person does the same thing, we don't give them the benefit of the doubt. And it's so important to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. Don't judge your neighbor until you actually stand in his place. And this is a very important message for us to understand and to see this happening in the world is a very, very complex situation that we hope will be resolved by feeling for the other as much as we feel about ourselves.